My name is Joseph Kopser. I hope you can join us in Austin, Texas, the weekend of 12 September for a 4-day conference from September 11th through September 14th with a focus on bridging the gap. Now, Leading to Win is not just another organization. We are specifically designed to convene the experts. We don't provide a product or a service except for our calendar going year-round to the activities of other military and veteran service organizations, because what we're hoping to do is to deconflict all the different activities to provide you, not only as a veteran, as a member of the military community, perhaps you're retired, perhaps you're a spouse, perhaps you're the kid of a military member, but you want to be able to find your community, your tribe. And Leading to Win 2025 will be designed to be able to bring all these groups together. Leading to Win 2025 has several things that make it different from most other conferences. I like to tell people this is a bit of an unconference. And what do I mean by that? First of all, a lot of us on the planning committee enjoy conferences, but we often enjoy the parts that are different than everybody else. So for instance, what I really enjoy most about a conference is going to meet the friends I've known for a very long time in the field, as well as meeting new subject matter experts and new people aspiring to break into that field. The second thing that makes the conference an unconference is the fact that there's going to be very little what we call butts and seats staring up at the stage. This is a conference designed to be able to be collaborative, to be hands-on, to be able to roll up your sleeves and meet the people doing and working at the cutting edge of your interests, as well as, for those of you that are subject matter experts, be able to meet the very people, the audience, the customers, if you will, of who you're looking for. And then the third thing that makes this an unconference, if you will, is the fact that there is going to be a series of workshops, 27 in total, so you get to choose your own adventure for these workshops. But think of them less as workshops and more my favorite part of when we do go to a conference, if we do have a panel of experts, it's the question and answer. The question and answer is often the best time of a conference in a particular subject, because you have the subject matter experts in the room, they're done talking, and now the people that really want to hear from them the most get to go up to a microphone and ask what their question might be or the problem they might have or share in a concern. But what these workshops will do is very different in the sense that we're going to be in a room anywhere from 20 to 120 people, depending on interests. And then in addition, with those workshops, we're going to be able to have the subject matter experts. So say it's veteran transition into employment in your first job. We're going to have those experts from the city, county, state level Texas, as well as national experts that are there to be able to help the veterans through their transition. We hope to have organizations like American Corporate Partners, Hiring Our Heroes, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Texas Association of Business, the Texas Veterans Commission, the Texas Workforce Commission. I think you get the idea. By having those experts in the room and a facilitator, moderator, what we're going to be able to do is to be able to say, from the very beginning of the workshop, you're all here because you have an interest or an expertise in a certain field, like maybe mental wellness or maybe spouse employment, whatever it happens to be. And then the moderator facilitator is going to ask the first person, what's your first question? What's your biggest concern? And then from there, we won't launch right into the workshop, or think of it like the Q&A, where we'll then start the back and forth. All the while, the moderator is going to be recording on a whiteboard, as well as audio and video recording of the session, which is another part of this conference that makes it different, is the fact that it's going to be a shared document at the very end where we share the lessons learned that ultimately lead towards the one product that Leading to Win is going to produce that'll go year-round, which is a new style calendar, AI-driven calendar to be able to allow you and your organization to better find and deconflict what's going on in the veteran community. And then the last thing that we think is going to make this an unconference is the fact that there's really two parts to it. There's the indoors, the conference and the workshops themselves, but then there's what we call the outdoors. So we have not just a vehicle display from the combat units of 3 Corps up the road in Fort Hood, Texas, where the great American public and you and yourself and your kids can come and crawl all over these combat vehicles, get inside the cockpit of a helicopter, but more importantly, gets a chance to meet your Army. And then, in addition, adjacent in the air conditioning, we're going to have a resource fair with as many as 35 different organizations, from the nonprofit, academic, private sector, and they're all going to be in the room. Leading to Win 2025 is different for another reason because of these workshops. So the workshops are going to be basically rank ordered. There's 27 of them. You get to choose your own adventure, one workshop and 3 different sessions. So you get to choose from 3 different tracks for you, which could be ultimately, with 27 workshops, a lot of different options to choose from. But each one of those workshops are going to be sponsored by one particular organization that really cares about it, but they're not going to be the only organization that gets to speak. The workshops themselves are, like we say, the Q&A portion of a panel. We have the experts in the room, a moderator, facilitator, as well as the people that want to know those questions. And together, we're going to be able to solve these problems. Leading to Win 2025 is also exciting because it happens over 4 days in Central Texas. We kick things off, appropriately so, on 9/11. We'll have a remembrance reception to be able to mark the day that this is indeed 9/11 when we begin our conference. It'll be on the front banks of the front lawn, I should say, on the banks of the LBJ Lake, or Lady Bird Lake. And what we'll be able to do at that reception is be able to welcome those not only in town, but those coming in from out of town, and allow them a chance to be able to meet the others that are there, remember through the solemn remembrance of 9/11 while we're here. And then from there, folks are either encouraged to go back to their rooms or where they're staying, or join us in Moody Center, which is the concert arena where Old Dominion is in concert. Old Dominion is taking a portion of their proceeds and donating it to the Travis Manion Foundation. And then Friday morning kicks off around 9:30 with our keynote speaker out at the Dell Diamond facility, specifically in the United Heritage Center. And that guest speaker will be able to set the tone, get us going, reminding us why we serve, reminding us why the military veteran connected community is such a tight-knit family, but more importantly, how we bridge the gap with the outside world. And then from there, we go into our first workshops. We break for lunch, and lunch is also very different than most. So rather than just sitting at a table with just strangers, we hope you not only find strangers, but each of the tables will have its own theme. And the theme of that table could be a niche element that you're really interested in. It could be craft brewers, it could be distilleries, it could be those in the hospitality industry, it could be artists. Whatever niche rises to the occasion based on reservations, based on people signing up, we're going to create a table focused on your interests. And so please, when you register, make sure to say in the comment section, if you don't find a table setting or a table topic interesting to you, please let us know what it is, because then we can add it, and then the top 20 table ideas will be lunchtime tables. Then after our keynote speaker during lunch, then we all go back to our workshops, and in the evening you have the choice to either join us at the VIP sponsor reception for those who are kind enough to donate their time and energy to make the conference a success, or join us across the parking lot at Dell Diamond at Salt Lick, where we'll be basically doing a no-host reception and dinner for all those that are here. And for those that are sticking around, we've got a baseball game that night specifically to see the Round Rock Express and their home arena in the Dell Diamond Field. Those that are staying with our hotel partner, Kalahari Partner Hotel, your resort is just across the street, so it's easy to get to. But don't stay out too late, because Saturday morning we're kicking off in the morning with the Leaders Roundtable. The Leaders Roundtable will be focused Saturday morning as kind of an outbrief, an after-action review, if you will, to take all the good ideas that we came up with during the workshops on Friday, and then use that to be able to commit ourselves, if you will, going forward into what we're trying to do. Because the goal is to make this an organization that convenes, not necessarily another product or service, because there's plenty of other great VSOs out there doing great things. And then we end with, on Saturday, the football game. Actually, let me back up. We had the tailgate sponsored by Texas Army ROTC. That Texas Army ROTC tailgate will be about 2 hours for kickoff, and then we go into the stadium to watch the University of Texas take on UTEP in a football game in DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. And then Sunday morning, be up bright and early, because we have at Camp Mabry the 9/11 Heroes Run, organized and sponsored by the Travis Manion Foundation. So that's why you can see we're so excited about Leading to Win 2025 here in Central Texas. With with the theme of bridging the gap, what we hope to be able to do is to bridge the gap between generations across different sectors of the military veteran community, between active, guard, and reserve, between military, retired, veterans. We hope to be able to connect the dots between all the different service organizations that are working together doing great things, and we hope to be able to identify those gaps and bridge those gaps with real solutions. Leading to Win 2025 offers a rare chance for 3 different audiences to convene in one place. The first audience is the senior leadership of so many of the organizations that will be represented from the private sector, from the military, government at all levels, nonprofits, academia, all of the senior leadership that has a vested interest in seeing the military veteran connected community do better together will be present and have the opportunity in smaller one-on-one sessions to be able to meet with their peers. The second group that's going to be there are the subject matter experts that come from these organizations or that self-identify as someone that is a leading expert or known in their field or working very actively as a volunteer to be able to provide their expertise to be able to solve or address the problems of our military and veteran community. And then the third audience is the broader community, or as I like to call it, the great American public. So we want not just civilians who are unfamiliar with the military to be there, but we also want to make sure that they have a chance to go to the Meet Your Army display outside in the parking lot of Dell Diamond, but to also be inside for the resource fair, which has access to 35 different organizations that'll be there connecting, collecting information, sharing information to be able to make known what they do and how they can best assist you. Leading to Win 2025 offers a unique way to bring people together. It's not your typical conference where it's go sit in a seat and listen to speakers all day. Our emphasis is on over 6 different networking receptions and happy hours. We also have 27 different workshops to choose from that are less of a workshop and more of the question and answer session that you typically find after the panel is over, when you have the experts on stage and then the people in the audience that really want to ask the questions germane to them, with a moderator facilitator right in the middle of those workshops to keep everything on track and on time. But then in addition to our conference and our workshops, we also have the outside portion, inside I should say, that's free to the American public. We hope all Texans of all generations who are curious about their military, maybe they're even interested in joining their military. We'll have high school students there, college age and beyond, all generations, all members of the family, bring them to join us for the Meet Your Army and the Resource Fair with over 35 different partners.